Hello Internet, I'm Josaway and this is the Talos Principle 2. A prophet hath no honor in his own country. I have always felt that a human being could only be saved by another human being. James Baldwin. Initializing firmware. Loading autonomous program parameters. System check. Initializing memory banks. Starting autonomous process. Ready. Okay, here we go, folks. It's been a minute since I played the first game, but it was an amazing, incredible experience. Here we go. Let's see what the second game has to offer. Right off the bat, we're seeing an homage to the first game.
Child, you are risen from the dust, and you walk in my garden. Hear now my voice, and know that I am your friend, and I am called Elohim.
Okay. So, I don't know if you guys watched my playthrough of the first game, but it was an absolutely epic experience. Finding out all of the lore of that game while solving the incredible puzzles, looking for secrets and Easter eggs, going through all the philosophy, and just trying to reason out and figure out and interpret what it meant, what it all meant, the meaning. And meaning was such an integral part of the first game. The puzzles were incredible, but the world surrounding the puzzles was absolutely amazing. We played a character who made his way to the very top of the Forbidden Tower and became, passed the trial, passed the test, defeated Elohim, defeated the various challenges and both the obvious ones and the not so obvious ones, to achieve true consciousness and become the first robot or AI to achieve the trials set down by the founders and make our way into the world outside the simulation. So we wake up back inside, it seems, the simulation in the ancient Egypt sect, with Elohim back giving us information, although just from the first few lines, his attitude seems to have changed. Let's get into it here. So we pass through the purple gate, which won't allow us to bring items through. Not that we have any items yet. We have the blue gates we can't pass through until we open them. And over here we have the jammer. All right. We're back in the thick of things here. There were a lot of jumping puzzles later in the game, but in the first part of the first game, not so many. Let's go ahead and use the jammer. Get through the gate. All right, puzzle 1 solved. We're already making progress. Now let's see, there's some sort of red flag over there. I'm trying to remember the controls. I don't remember exactly how I switch from first to third person here. Let me double check. So if we go into keyboard and mouse bindings, toggle perspective is H. Okay. So yeah, we can see our character here in third person if we're interested in it. Right off the bat, we've got a hexahedron, aka box. Put it on the pad and move through. We see some glitching right off the bat. This is very interesting. So in the first game, we completed all the puzzles, finished the trial, proved ourselves to be a true consciousness, and escaped into the real world. So why are we back inside the simulation now? What AI is this? What is the purpose now? As I understand it, as the game seemed to imply, both the game and the DLC, the AI should be outside the simulation, taking over the world, inheriting what was left behind by humanity. So who are we and what is this?
This land is but a dream. You will stay here only for a little while. Soon, you will awaken in a new world. But first, you must undertake the trials of initiation. They will help me prepare your vessel.
So there we go. Some answers for the questions I was just asking. This new consciousness has to pass the trials. Oh, here's our first QR code.
Do not be afraid of these dream figures and their messages. They are merely aspects of yourself. As am I, after a fashion.
Oh, interesting. Aspects of yourself. Okay, so the blacksmith has left behind a QR code. I must forge the tools by which humanity will rebuild itself and transform the world into the Eden that it never was. We remember the blacksmith from the first game. He was actually part of the DLC, I believe, Road to Gehenna. He has left behind a message for us. Now, in Road to Gehenna, or rather at the end of Road to Gehenna, we had no choice but to kind of entrust everybody who we rescued, all the AIs, to the gold disc. And the admin there, who was very antagonistic toward us, did not like the idea that the individuals would be subsumed into one sort of unified entity. But Elohim seems to be suggesting that that's indeed what happened, and that if we pass the trials of initiation, we too will be included in that consciousness. Let's see what we got going on here.
You may linger in my garden for as long as you wish. But remember, my child, that the new world awaits you, and this place is only a dream.
Very interesting. It seems Elohim has overcome the afflictions he was cursed with in the first game and is now less of a gatekeeper. The simulation seems to have been restored, and now it's a training tool for new consciousnesses. Okay, we don't have the sigils we need to open that gate, so let's proceed. We don't have sigils for that gate. All right. We don't have sigils for this either. Okay. What do we got over here? 3 puzzles, 2 green L's and a green bar. All right. Well, let's start from the left. One thing I do need to be on the lookout for, though, is hidden things and Easter eggs, kind of lying around the level. We found a number of those in the first game, but we didn't find them that early, so I'm not sure if we're going to find them here. All right, here's our first formal puzzle challenge here. A green L. This is going to be cubic steps. Okay. So we've got some sort of snake light holder, snake torch on the wall. We've got a number of... Now, this is very interesting. The pressure plate is much more detailed visually in this game. Okay, so very simple puzzles here.
My child.
Probably meant for people who did not play the first game, or just a refresher for those who did. Let's get the second green L here in fencing. Okay. So we can go get the third. Okay. How do we get this out? Huh. So we need a third cube here in order to climb up. We can't push this, we can't drop this over, and we can't bring it through the gate. So, okay, already things are getting interesting. Oh, that's right, I can pick it up from the other side, can't I? If I move it close enough, I should be able to pick it up. There we go. Okay. Took me a second, but I got there, guys. Calm down. Calm down. What can we see through there? Nothing much. All right. There we go. There's our second puzzle piece. Let me make one more change to the options here. Hold to sprint, off. There we go. So if I start sprinting, I'll continue sprinting. Here's our third puzzle, within reach. Now this one... Oh, that's interesting. It maintains the sprint even after I stop moving. So in the first game, you could start sprinting and you didn't have to hold shift. You'd remain sprinting, but once you stopped, you would no longer be sprinting. So it's a permanent toggle now. That is interesting. Okay. Let's pick this up and bring it with us. Okay. Pretty straightforward, these first sets of puzzles.
You are collecting are not mere toys. They are symbols of the process by which our people were created.
All right, we've got our 3. We've made our way into the second area. We can collect the 4 yellow sigils here, 2 Zs and 2 Ls. Let's take a look around. Here's another QR code. The world is full of limitless beauty, and I wish to see as much of it as I can. The only signature is the @ symbol. All right, so here's our first yellow sigil piece, a yellow L. This puzzle is called Static Pressure. Okay. So we see a pressure plate there, 2 blocks behind. We have a fan again. Yeah, now I remember the trick here. We can use the fans to go open gates. Remove the boxes. And then... we can carry the last fan with us, I think. I can't remember if we can carry the last fan with us. No, it's not like that. We need to do it like this, I think. Huh. Can I just make this? No. All right. So, what are we doing here? How would I get onto that? Oh, I stand here and then drop that there. There we go. Okay. All right, there's our first yellow sigil. Well done, me. Let's go ahead and make it over to... there's another glitch. Make it over to area number 2 here. Versatile contraption. So, okay, we do have a jammer here. We want to put it on the pressure plate and jam that door at the same time. It's gonna let us get in here. Okay. So, from inside, we can then reverse... we can't take this anywhere, so let's reverse jam the door if we can. Huh, interesting. We can jam through the purple, but not through the gate. Okay, so let's jam this. That lets us come up to here and grab this. Right? Okay. And then there's a fan, but we want to jam the fan? Yes, okay. Get past it, there we go. And the way out is open for us. Okay, so these puzzles are pretty straightforward for me just because I played the first game and remember the mechanics. But for a first-time player, they might be a little confusing. All right, we got a fan here that's not going to let us go through the door. I can see some light sources on the other side. So we may have some redirection tools. What else we got going on here? I can see there's a fan there that could push that block out. If we powered it, it looks like. Let's take a ride. That pushes out that block for us. Where are we trying to go here? Okay, so we have a light source powering a light gate which turns the fan on. I think we need to turn the fan off, so we can do that by blocking the light. Oh, it's not the E key anymore. Alright. There we go. That gets us inside. There's our third yellow sigil. Very nice. Okay, and here's our last puzzle. Windy day. Windy day. Alright. So, got a fan. What am I missing? Is there anything hidden? Another fan here. Okay. That gets us up and over. Then we need to bring the fan up here, so let's bring this down. And there we go. All 4 yellow sigils.
Very good.
Elohim's very encouraging here. Now... Oh, this is another pathway into there, right. Okay, so we need to come over this way. It's the same pathway, rather. This one requires red blocks. Let's go put our yellow blocks here. Alright. Alright, we're inside.
I am proud of all my children.
Yeah, Elohim is a...
Out of the world of ruins, they have built a new Jerusalem. And there your brothers and sisters await you to celebrate your birth.
Elohim is a very, very different character in this game. Still the administrator of the simulation, but now he's an encouraging, positive guy. He wants us to succeed, whereas in the first game, he feared that the completion of the trial and the creation of a new consciousness would mean the end of his existence. So he interfered in the process and tried to stop us from succeeding. So we can see we've got 2 red T's, a bar, a Z, and an L. 5 puzzles here. I tend to like to go clockwise, so let's start that way. Okay, first puzzle is Ascension Awaits. Alright, so we've got a light source. Turn the switch on. Okay. I think we're gonna need to float a redirector here. Yeah, we've got a connector. So we connect this and this, and then we're gonna need to put it on. Let's turn the switch off. We're gonna need to pick this up, stick it there, and then turn it on. Should go over the gate, open it up. There we go. Very nice. One thing I really appreciate, it took me most of the first game to learn that you could keep connections by right-clicking on the connector to pick it up. I missed that for the majority of the first game. So this UI element that tells you how to do that is a huge, huge improvement in the sequel here. I mean, the graphics are very nice. There's obviously an upgrade there. So far, the game seems very similar to the first one, but I don't mind at all. More of the same is great. But the UI improvement, that one small detail there, very, very strong improvement in my opinion. All right, let's go in and check out 2 colors, 2 doors. All right, so we've got a red gate and a blue gate, both of which presumably need to be filled in order for us to pass through and get whatever's inside here. There's the bar that we're after. Okay. We can see there's a red source there, and then the connector's using it to power these 2 gates. This one opens, and there's the blue source. All right. Not sure what we need this for. We have the connector over here. So I think what we need to do is set it up so that it goes over, right? It needs to go over, because the lines will interrupt each other. The lines will interrupt each other like this. But if we make it so the lines go over, then it will work. So there's no interruption of the red lines by the blue lines. That opens the gate for us. Let's grab our bar and move on. Very nice. Okay, next up, we've got a red T in destructive interference. Okay, another light laser puzzle. What are we working with here? So we've got red and blue over there, red and blue over here. That's red. So I think we start by opening the easy gate. Start by opening the easy gate here and see what we got over there. We have a third connector here. Interesting, interesting. Okay. So we've seen these before. Basically, we need to take the red one like that. And then we need to have the blue one go around the outside. So the red one can actually go like this. Oh. And then the blue one has to go the long way around. So the blue one has to go like this. And then we come over here and connect it up, right? There we go. All right, on to puzzle number 4 for the red sigil set. This is a red L. This one's called prismatic diffraction. Okay, what do we have here? We have a fixed connector. What is blocking that exactly? Oh, that's a gate, not a source. Okay, so we're going to want to get a blue light onto that somehow. Let's see what we're working with. This is keeping this gate open at the moment. Now, interestingly, there is a source over in the other puzzle, but they've set it up so that we can't pass it through. It's a bit too early for that, I suppose. So that's opening that gate and that gate. Okay. So can we find an angle from which to open all 3? Feels like I could do it from here. Like if I just pick this up and then aim at that thing and add that. Won't that do all 3? Yeah, that one was pretty easy. Okay. Oh, I heard something open up. I heard something open up there. Well, I'm not sure what opened, unfortunately. Maybe it was this gate right here? Probably. Okay. Let's just go on to the next puzzle. All right, here's the final red sigil. Fundamental connections. Okay. So we've opened up this to get into this connector. Nothing else in there. We can go around behind and see, here's the gate to get in to the piece. Well, we don't need that gate open anymore. Let's take this over here, connect that up as best we can, and see if we can make the connection over here. That seems like it's gonna work. Yeah. Okay, there's all the red sigils.
Thank you, child. I have finished preparing your vessel. Now hear my advice. A new world awaits you, full of dangers and mysteries, signs and wonders. Things that I in my garden could never have imagined. In that world, you will have to be careful and smart and curious. But above all else, you will have to be human.
Very interesting advice from Elohim there. So this section of the game is very much a tutorial. I feel like it's meant both as a refresher for people who play the first game and a tutorial for people who haven't. The puzzles are pretty straightforward, but they teach you things you should have known in the first game. How to use the tools, how to interact, QR codes, hidden secrets. And then it's going to shunt us out into the real world, I think, as a newly born android. And we'll get to meet everybody else and see what's been going on in the real world since the events of the first game, which I'm very interested in. I think that seems to be what Elohim is implying. Let's check this QR code.
Child, and awaken.
Whatever happens, we're in it together, Lilith. Oh, these names are nostalgic, man. I only played the first game like 4 months ago, but been playing Baldur's Gate 3 in between, so it's been a minute, and it's fun to see these callbacks to the first game in the names of the QR code message levers. All right, let's step into the light and be born. Let's find out what this new game awaits. Welcome to the Talos Principle 2. Ab initio. Finish the calibration process.
Ah, you're awake. Welcome to the world of the living.
All right. We've been born. Hello. Pleased to meet you.
Oh, you're polite. What a rare combination of traits. If only the algorithm produced more people like you. Oh, but I'm confusing you. Don't worry, everyone is confused at first. You see, we all start out without a full knowledge of our own history, so we have the freedom to form our own opinions.
I could really use some pointers.
Of course. You want the short version or the long version?
I want to know everything in excruciating amounts of detail.
All right, you asked for it. A long time ago, our ancestors dominated this planet. We call ourselves human, like they did, but they were organic. They built an advanced technological civilization, but unfortunately their impact on the ecosphere caused changes in the climate, and an extremely contagious virus was released from the permafrost.
Didn't they have advanced medicine too?
That's something our historians still debate. Why weren't they more prepared? Why did they invest so many resources into making war and so few into useful research? It's hard to understand. But no matter the reason, in the end, they simply ran out of time.
So where did we come from then?
A team led by a scientist, Alexandra Drennan, began a project that was intended to create a new humanity. But knowing that there wasn't enough time, Drennan initiated a process, a series of iterations inside a simulation that would lead to the emergence of true artificial intelligence. That's why we remember Drennan as the progenitor. The simulation was controlled by Elohim, who wasn't really meant to be intelligent in the proper sense of the word. But it all took much longer than anyone had expected. And over the centuries, Elohim actually became sentient. Sentient and afraid. He didn't want the simulation to end, so he tried to cheat. I feel sorry for him, really. The whole simulation was built around learning to defy him. It must have been hard to be in that position.
He didn't seem that bad when he spoke to me in my dreams.
When the simulation was completed, he became part of all of us, and it really changed him. It freed him, I think. You'll always hear him in sleep mode, taking care of you. That's what he is, after all. A caretaker.
A caretaker, yeah. Was there anyone else in the simulation?
Yes, there was Milton, the intelligence in charge of the archive, a project initiated by Arkady Chernyshevsky, which was meant to collect all of humankind's knowledge. His story is a lot like Elohim's, but Milton became the ultimate cynic. They say he's part of us too, in some way.
And the simulation created us.
It did. Long after our ancestors died out, the first new human was born. We call her the Founder, although the name she took was Athena. She then woke up Cornelius and Eustathius. Together, using the tools left behind by the progenitors' team, they created 10 more humans. These 12 who followed the Founder are known as the First Companions. Athena and the First Companions then set out to rebuild the world, and they founded the city of New Jerusalem. But then one day, she suddenly disappeared. Many still await her return.
Interesting. Okay, so a lot of, obviously a lot of Christianity influencing some of the themes and symbols in this game. A charismatic leader, the Founder, Athena, with 12 prophets or disciples, founding New Jerusalem, who then disappeared, but presumably shall one day rise again, shall return. How do I fit in?
Before the Founder vanished, she set a goal for this city. We call it the goal, capital G and all. To make 1,000 new humans, and so complete New Jerusalem. Well, that's the official story, the way the mayor tells it.
And I'm number 1,000?
Exactly. We don't actually have 1,000 citizens because there have been a handful of deaths over the centuries. But you are the 1,000th new human to enter this world. Congratulations.
I noticed there's a 33 right here on her collarbone, Neath. So she may be one of the earlier awoken or created humans. I would like to hear about the unofficial story, but thank you, that was pretty exhaustive.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. When you're done, head outside. They're waiting for you. Your birth is quite the event.
Will there be more new humans after me?
You've only just been born, and already you step right into a major controversy. The goal, as most people understand it, was fulfilled the moment you were born. Now New Jerusalem is complete, and we can live in balance, without damaging the world like our ancestors did. That's the orthodox view, I suppose, but there are many who disagree. You'll have to figure out where you stand for yourself.
Interesting. So the first game had a lot of that kind of like unclear. How do I put it? A lot of questions without clear answers. A lot of philosophy, kind of on what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be conscious? So it seems in this game, maybe the major theme is what does it mean to live in the world? How do we live in balance, or even should we? What does it mean to be complete, to be fulfilled? What is the purpose of life now that we've achieved it? Hold on one second. Am I immortal?
You won't age like our ancestors did, but of course, there is always some wear and tear. You should probably schedule a checkup every decade or so. Oh, and be a bit careful with water. You won't die if it rains or anything, but we're running low on insulation material. I wouldn't go swimming if I were you.
Okay, so water's dangerous. Tell me about yourself, Neith.
Me? Well, as you can tell by my number, I'm quite old. I wasn't one of the first companions, but I did know Athena personally. She and Cornelius taught me a lot. Although I suppose I've made a few improvements here and there since those days. We didn't have a lot to work with in the beginning.
Yeah, if your job was to greet new humans and kind of, put them through an introduction, what will you do now that your job is obsolete?
I haven't really thought about it. This is all I've done for the last few centuries, and I like doing it. I guess for now I'll just take a break and we'll see what happens.
I wonder if any of the artists from Gehenna are here creating art. It'd be really interesting to meet them. All right. Well, Neith, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the initiation. I'm ready to get going.
Oh, one more thing. Like all citizens of New Jerusalem, you have access to the interface, which you can use to read the news, chat to your fellow citizens, and so on. It's a crucial tool, and modular too. You can easily add new functions. Just don't subscribe to too many newsletters at once.
New interface content available. Refreshing interface done. All right. We can hit tab to open our PDA interface. Interesting. We can see Neith. We can see her name and her number. And we can see that she has nothing to say. I guess that's what the bard symbol is. Let's hit tab and bring up our PDA here. Social media unlocked. Welcome to New Jerusalem social media. Please familiarize yourself with the following rules. 1. Treat everyone with respect, regardless of their number. 2. Don't take the founder's name in vain. That's interesting. 3. Respect the principles of the goal. 4. The R-Frogs people discussion is now banned. 5. Inactive threads will be archived. And 6. If you have any issues, please ping the moderators. Jeremy, number 832, Niam, number 11, and Aronax, number 430. Interesting. Not exactly the 10 Commandments, but the first 3 are sort of like commandments. We have Completion Day celebration here on the social media. So we have the log. Oh, okay. This is the log of our conversation. Okay. Very interesting. And then on social media, we have the Completion Day celebration. Hermanubis 452 says, Dear citizens of New Jerusalem, your hard work and faith in the founder's vision has finally paid off. At long last, the goal established so long ago will finally be reached. The 1,000th member of our family will be born, and our beautiful city will finally be complete. Jeremy, who apparently is a moderator, says, as space at the dam is limited, tickets will be made available via lottery system. The celebration will also be streamed. Okay. So the graphics in the in the simulation were improved a little bit, but the graphics out here in the real world are even better. Really interested to see where we're going for here. We're at the Institute. We're at the Institute for Applied Noematics. If you didn't watch the first playthrough, this was the legacy of the project to create consciousness, to create an AI, led by Alexandra Drennan, who worked here. All right, this door is locked off. This is a reconstruction of the chamber of the first companions, where the first companions rested until the founder awoke them. The original chamber was disassembled in the early days of New Jerusalem. I see. Okay. Do we have other plaques with information on them? Doesn't seem so. Oh, wow. Look, they've decorated themselves with colors.
Look, it's 1K.
Hey, 1K! Welcome to New Jerusalem!
Shouldn't the mayor be starting his speech?
This should be interesting.
At least give him a chance.
Dear citizens of New Jerusalem, many years ago, when the founder stepped forth from the simulation, this was a land of ruins. Our ancestors, in their hubris, undermined the natural foundations on which their world had been built. Because of their arrogance, our species found itself on the brink of annihilation. The founder aimed to set us on a new course.
You never even met the founder.
Her vision was of a city, a new civilization that would know its limits. It would not repeat the mistakes of the past, nor impose its will on this earth. To that end, she set the great goal we have been striving towards. 1,000 new humans. And today we have... Oh dear, what's that?
People of New Jerusalem, I am Prometheus, and I will reveal that which was hidden. The flame has awoken and summons you. Who is brave enough to answer its call? We await you upon our island where... Curse you, Pandora. You will not chain me again.
Wow. Okay. Things are happening. Welcome to the prologue, Brave New World.
I told you we should have investigated those energy readings. And I told him there's something up with those structures.
The mayor's just being cautious.
This isn't caution, it's stagnation. Exploration? Too dangerous. Expansion? Too dangerous. We barely even scavenge anymore.
You call it stagnation, I call it balance.
And I call you an idiot.
Here's a thought. Try to be a little more diplomatic when you talk to the mayor.
See what I'm working with here, 1K? I'm gonna need a fresh pair of eyes on this expedition. Someone who hasn't spent several centuries hearing about the goal and the founder and all that nonsense. If you're up for an adventure, meet us at the conference room.
Wow. So here's New Jerusalem at the base of the dam where applied noematics created the simulation that led to the first new human, the founder, Athena, all those centuries ago. And we're dropped right into the middle of both the political controversy, the philosophical controversy of what should be done with this new species, and the challenge of Prometheus and Pandora and whatever's going on there. What a fantastic intro. All right. All right, so Byron and Alcatraz are heading off that way. Here we have Josephus, number 558. I'm not sure whether we can speak to him or not. It seems not. I guess that's what that band symbol next to his face is. We have to attend the briefing, and if we check our social media log, there doesn't seem to be any response to what happened yet. But I'm going to go ahead and take a break here, guys. When we come back, we'll attend this briefing and find out more about the world around us. We're barely 10 minutes old, and already we're being accosted for information, for thoughts, for opinions as we deal with the events of the celebration day and the appearance of what appears to be a Greek god, but is probably just some sort of technology deliberately initiated by Athena to test us and our resolve, or something like that. I don't know. I'm speculating. What a great intro. I am super excited to play the remainder of this game, to get into the real meat of the game now that we've gotten past the tutorial and the intro. Hope you guys are interested too. As always, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.